May 7th, 1915, a day that shocked the people of America. The luxury British liner, the Lusitania, had been sunk by a German submarine. Around 1,200 passengers drowned, including 128 Americans. This attack was later used as a justification for America entering World War I. But at the moment, the news of the Lusitania brought war and Germans' use of unrestricted submarine warfare to the front of every American mind. Submarines, or undersea boats, U-boats for short, were included in all major navies and were used by the Germans early in the war. Submarines tended to be relatively small, about 200 feet, and were used for coastal operations. An exception was the German Deutschland class of U-boats. These submarines were 315 feet long and could carry about 700 tons of cargo, allowing for longer times at sea further from the coast. Most submarines were armed with torpedoes, and during the war they were fitted with deck guns for use when the submarines were near the surface of the ocean. Unrestricted submarine warfare was introduced in 1915 when Germany declared the area around Great Britain a war zone. Neither Germany nor Britain could produce enough food to support their population, so goods were imported into each country. Both countries believed they could starve the other out if all merchant and transport ships were stopped. Soon, all ships, no matter what country they were from, were stopped and searched or attacked by U-boats. This led to the sinking of the Lusitania. The Lusitania was a luxury British liner that was returning to Liverpool, England from New York City. The ship had about 2,000 passengers on board and was carrying rifle ammunition and shells. On May 7, 1915, the ship was attacked by a German U-boat. Lady Margaret Mackworth recounts the sinking of the Lusitania.
There was a dull, thud-like, not very loud but unmistakable explosion. It seemed to come from a little below us, around the middle of the vessel, on the port side. I saw that the water had come up over onto the deck. The ship sank, and I was sucked right down with her. Many people were praying aloud in a curious, unemotional monotone. Others were shouting for help in much the same slow, impersonal chant.
Lady Margaret and her father were rescued, but 1,200 passengers were not as lucky. After the outrage that occurred after the sinking of the Lusitania, the Germans imposed strict limitations on submarine warfare, and during September of 1915, the submarine program was suspended. However, in 1917, unrestricted submarine warfare resumed and continued throughout the rest of World War I.